Hey everybody, it says I'm live here, so I'm gonna just assume that it's telling the truth. My last video that I showed, I was broke down on the side of the road in about 70 miles north of Cheyenne on I-25. A lot has happened since then. Apparently I had some kind of a fuel issue that was pumping all my fuel out. Still kind of up in the air whether it had anything to do with gelling or not. My gauge on my fuel gauge still said I had better than 1/8 of a tank. And when they got it in, they put fuel in it and primed it, and it cranked right up. However, long story, but anyway, I had other problems other than the fuel gelling. It turned out that one of the injectors, or one or more of the injectors, was bad as well, and it was literally pumping all my fuel out. The fuel they put in it overnight, it pumped all that fuel out. So trying to make a short story here, my truck is out of service for about 2 months. Apparently this is a common problem with Freightliners, and the parts are on national back order. So they're telling me it's going to be 2 to 3 months before the part comes in. Then they have to fix my truck. So I'm in a loaner right now, and this may or may not be a quote-unquote permanent loaner. I don't know. It's a loaner either way. This is actually a better truck. This is like a 20, I want to say about a 2017 truck. It don't have none of the crap in it. The lane departure, that big old black box that's in your windshield, it don't have that. I don't hear it nagging me. It does have the forward-looking radar, so it does have that. However, this is that I can deal with. It's that nagging of that lane departure deal, that if these companies knew just how idiotic that is, especially when there's snow on the road and you have lines going this way and lines, you know, from snow plows and from people changing lanes, and you'll have lines going across your lane of snow, but the lane departure thing sees that as the white line on the side of the road, and it's constantly going off, and man, it just makes you don't even realize it, but your tension goes up and up and up. Man, there is a button that you can temporarily turn it off, but it only stays off for like 2 minutes. It's meant so you can turn it off while you're going through a construction zone. The problem is you got to take your eyes off the road and fumble around and read all these things until you find the one that actually, it's not safe to do it. Anyway, and it only stays off for 2 minutes, and then it's back on and aggravating you again. So what I wanted to talk to you about today, whenever I switched from my last company over to CRETE, I strictly did it for money. CRETE, the whole economy was doing real well. Everybody was not only trucking, but in other, yeah, you can turn it off for 15 minutes. I don't think it stays off. I think it's only like 2 on my truck, but it may be 50. Either way, it comes back on and it annoys you. Somebody's saying you can turn it off for 15 minutes. I think on my truck it's 2. But anyway, everybody, the economy was doing well. The economy was growing. People were starting to pay more money. Incomes were starting to rise. The trucking industry in general, trucking companies were beginning to pay more money, and it was beginning to get competitive. And CRETE they're determined to be at the top of the pile on pay, and so they were able to raise their rates. CRETE's CRETE is a mega carrier, so they have national contracts with some of the bigger companies. A lot of it is food. A lot of it is stuff you find in grocery stores. I'm gonna put it that way. I'm not going to give you specific customers, but CRETE deals with the bigger companies out there, and we do mostly drop and hook. So we really have a good relationship. They were able to raise their rates a little bit and pay their drivers more money, and everything was looking real good. We are seeing an erosion of that right now. The more money that I gained by coming to work here is being eroded on a daily basis. Fuel is now up. Fuel is the big thing, but everything else is going up as well. When you go to the grocery store, you see the price of this, that, and the other. Groceries are higher, meat is higher, fuel is higher. I'm hearing on some of the channels that I watch, I'm watching farming stuff. I still am interested in farming, and farmers are starting to blow the whistle and say, hey, you're in for a really rough time, because as all these other costs go up, our cost of producing food is going up as well, and the transportation of that food to you, they're not able to get fertilizer. I'm hearing talks of other farming channels and people that have to do with both the transportation of food and the growing of food. They're really starting to blow some real warning signs that they're not able to get fertilizer. Apparently Russia makes a whole bunch of our fertilizer that we get here. We trade them grain and they give us fertilizer, so it's an equal swap there. So now we've cut off the fertilizer supply. That's going to affect the food supply here eventually, because they're not going to be able to get fertilizer. Everything is connected these days, everything. So although I am a political guy, if you ever see my tattoo on my arm, you'll see that I am a we the people kind of guy. I don't care what color you are, what race you are, we're all we the people. Is what the Constitution. I'm very much a constitutionalist, but we're in really rough waters right now. I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. I just know that we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. We would not be in this trouble had it not been for the election of 2020. Anyway, I am back in this loaner truck, and they're trying to find me a truck out on the somewhere and put me in a quote-unquote semi-permanent truck. They may just completely swap me over to this other new truck that they find somewhere out in the country. They had one here that was close, but come to find out the guy, it was just being repaired, and this guy wanted his truck back, so that didn't work out. But I'm waiting on a phone call from my terminal manager, is actually who handles this kind of thing, and the terminal manager in Lenoir City, even though I'm in Cheyenne, the one in Lenoir City is the one it's his job to find me a truck. So for whatever reason, they're having a difficult time with that. I don't know if it means that they're hiring enough drivers now to where all their trucks are full, or whether trucks are broke down to the point to where they can't find one that's running. I don't know what. I didn't ask. It's not, I don't care. I'm in the distribution center here in Wyoming, in Cheyenne, has this. They've got this truck and a day cab truck that's kind of a quote-unquote loaner, a temporary loaner, that they can put people in and keep them moving while their truck is being repaired. But I can't keep this for 2 to 3 months. I can only keep it for a few days. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm waiting on the phone call telling me that they found me another truck. Anyway, I don't know how long this has been. Let's see, 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So that's really about all I had to say today. We're in some really rough times here. I'm starting to see in some of the stuff that I'm hauling and whatever, I'm starting to see some real changes being made that's going to affect everything down the road. So we've got some real tough times ahead. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. I am safe and sound. I'm in a loaner truck. They're sending me, I'm actually on a run going down to New Mexico and then turning around and coming back. So about 1,000-mile trip. So I'll be doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Hope to see you soon.